Cloud9 versus Team Empire. Game 1.
Super curious to see the drafting strategies coming up, because that's one thing I love about playing Dota. You can wind up with these wildly different experiences in games.
I will do my very best to predict the mind of Jackie Mao. However,
Look at these bands. Look at the Ancient Apparition and Kunkka.
He's crazy, man. He does some crazy stuff. He's in his own world. What do we have here? Oh, Batrider first pick.
There's a Wisp here as well, still in the pool.
Cloud9 going way out of left field.
And Nyx and Puck, I mean, pretty much Nyx, Puck, Night Stalker, Batrider, very common early bans that we've been seeing out of a lot of teams. Lich, also very common early ban.
There's still Night Stalker. Night Stalker's pretty good versus
Pretty solid against Bat, that's for sure. You definitely want to pick some heroes that you want to pick. Heroes that counter Bat. So Night Stalker can be great for that. He can be a little weak in lane, but if you run him as a support, it's fine.
There it is.
Probably looking at 4 Night Stalker there, and then I would hope they'd pick something that can either counter the lasso here or
Oracle.
Yeah, or lane up against the Batrider pretty well.
And you know, in terms of just experience at low levels, Night Stalker has a lot of very strong effects on his level 1 spells. The fact that it's slow at 50%, but as you get higher and higher up, it's the fact that Night Stalker is just the most constricting in terms of vision player.
And also, he has 1800 range at night. That's very, very rare. A lot of the patches have reduced most of the heroes to be standardized at 800 at nighttime. He has night 1800 all the time during night. And it's very hard when we're observing the games and seeing from a spectator point of view. But again, if you're a player and you're playing against Night Stalker, the game is completely different.
He shrinks the map. When he casts Darkness, the enemy's vision is greatly reduced, and it makes Batrider's job initiating, blinking in, and finding that opportune lasso very, very difficult.
I mean, I feel like that can't be overstated enough, because I mean, if you're playing at much lower levels, you won't even really need any extra information, because you're not going to make use of it. You're just sitting on your side of the river farming safely. They're doing the same, but I mean, these pro teams, we see them so coordinated, just pouncing in an instant. Night Stalker is going to be a very nice pickup to protect resolution down the line.
That one glimpse of a hero is all you need to blink in and lasso in. So
We've seen that more from all of these games as well, that vision is something that teams greatly...
as teams get better and better, they take more advantage of the information and the vision that they have on the map. And Disruptor here, a hero that can, you can glimpse Batrider away and it'll cancel that lasso as Batrider gets too far away from his target.
And Disruptor is just probably the biggest playmaking hero we've seen at TI today.
I've been honestly a little bit surprised by how much he's been getting played, but he's been having a lot of success and pulling off some major team fights.
Ooh, Dazzle, an interesting pick.
That's make me think about Terrorblade.
Yes, definitely.
It's eternal envy. He loves to play Terrorblade, so...
Up against this Night Stalker, you don't want to go late game, or you can go late game, but you need to have vision. It's difficult to do. So a lot of teams will defer to more of a group up and push style up against the Night Stalker that he really just doesn't offer a lot. He can try to run the back lines and silence the Dazzle, but he's got a pretty rough time getting back there unless they smoke behind.
Yeah, I mean, if you get vision on a team and, yep, they're all there.
Yeah.
Can't do much.
Yep. If they're playing as 5, the information, like if you have more vision than your opponent, you just, oh, they're all together. Oh, they're all together. They're together. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. We outlined the benefits of Night Stalker, but the cons are he's actually not that great at team fight.
He brings no team fight.
Yeah.
One of the weakest team fighters in the game.
And so Dazzle, of course, has some unbelievable save abilities. I mean,
you can shallow graving somebody that's inside of that static storm. That's where I see it being most effective this game. Also being able to sustain the push that I think Cloud9 will bring this game to manage the Night Stalker's vision advantage.
In that sense, they can pick basically any push, put like a push hero, and then try to just go as 5 and get some towers.
What heroes do you think might fill that role?
Terrorblade, I think, is the best, because then you also have the Grave to make sure that he can get his Sunder off. But
also Lycan.
Yeah, Lycan could work. DP, Medusa can force towers.
DP got
banned, yeah.
Maybe Pugna?
Pugna could work.
Pugna's still an option?
Doable. Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
Pugna's been very interesting to trace in this tournament.
Drow's
lots early in the first 2 stages of group stage.
Let's see, they banned DP, so they can definitely get Drow or Terrorblade if they choose to. I like that direction a lot.
Yeah.
Those are 2 heroes that Eternal Envy is very good on.
What about outside of the carry role, characters like Nature's Prophet with the Tree Ants?
That works. I think it's more likely for the Batrider to be that 3 position, and Furion. I don't know how much I like him in the 2 or 1. Although we did see Eternal Envy play a Furion. Maybe that was last tournament, or maybe it was during this. I think it was the qualifiers for TI. He last picked some Furion for himself, and I was a little bit skeptical, but he played really well and ended up winning.
They might be trying to trick Empire that the Bat is offlane and then put it on mid. Fata has been playing Bat a lot before, but it's been a long time since like we've seen Bat mid though. So
We've got a PL ban here. That's PL, lots of illusions. You generally want to ban this hero when you don't have a lot of AoE, which definitely makes me think they want to go to that Terrorblade Drow strategy, one of those two.
And what about Empire banning out the Sven?
Let's see, maybe going for that Lycan that we talked about, potentially. It's not great for his bat, but why else would you ban Sven?
That's what I was curious. Maybe
You're
pick
worried
Bristle.
about armor,
Bristle's mediocre.
Bristle, Slardar, these minus armor, minus armor heroes.
I don't know, the only reason would be that Empire would want to pick some physical damage themselves.
Maybe they banned Sven as a reaction to the...
No, Sun ban came first.
Oh, so they banned Sven. Oh, then they banned PL because they thought maybe Empire would go PL with the Sven banned out.
Seen a lot of LC out of Team Empire running out of the off lane, especially versus Batrider.
Yes, he matches up really well in that lane. It's a lane that Batrider can actually can lose, which is very few, and he can remove Lasso with his press the attack on any of his teammates.
They're also setting up in case it's a Terrorblade pick that they can actually lock him down and kill him before he gets the Sunder off.
Definitely. Gotta watch out for that Shallow Grave though. Dazzle, one of the better counters against LC, can always, it's very straightforward. Hey, this guy's dueled, be ready to Shallow Grave him.
Yeah. Now in terms of pickups that we just haven't seen at this point, Earthshaker, not banned, not picked.
They have to commit. They have to see whether or not they want to commit to the push right now.
Yeah.
Lich ignored as well. I was totally off there. Go me. Disappointed in myself. Thought I was better than this.
It's okay.
Just up here making up stuff at this point.
We'll cover.
Doom, big popular pick. He can provide some auras to his team if they choose to 5-man push. Also, I really like this hero for Aoi 2000. I think he's... I don't think he's the greatest roamer. This Tusk, Nyx, Sand King, support, Earth Spirit. I don't think that's really the best role for him. Farming up in the jungle and coming out with some items and having an impact on the game, I think, is where he slots in really well.
Yeah, do you see him played more as an offlaner or as a position 4 or 5?
For Cloud9, it's almost always AUA.
Yeah, so definitely a 4 position. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a visit up to the top lane, and he could eventually take over the off lane and let MSS on the Batrider fall back into the jungle to farm some stacks. There's
Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain. Sometimes struggles against Doom, but he can definitely go for a Lincoln Sphere, which should keep him pretty safe.
So at this point, we always ask the question with Team Empire having one more character to pick, what is the big thing that is lacking for them? Is it first they really need to see what Cloud9 does with these next 2 picks before they can even make an evaluation? Or are you looking at this lineup for Team Empire and seeing some clear weaknesses?
Well, you can't pick there you save resolutions here for later. You can't pick an AM because you'll get pushed down very early on with either Lycan or Drow Ranger, and there's too many heroes to ban out.
They're definitely pushing.
Yeah, I think that saving resolutions for last, and they can go at a more early game carry, even Terrorblade themselves if they'd like, in case they are worried about Cloud9 fighting early, and then they can go later and later with the anti-mage and Morphling, depending on how greedy Cloud9's draft is.
My concern with Empire's draft at the moment is that the only D push they really have is the Legion Commander, and he's also the person that wants to be dispelling the lasso from whoever Batrider decides to choose. So if he comes up to defend the towers, it's very likely that Batrider is going to lasso him. So with Resolution's hero last, they either need some hero that can team fight, or I don't know, I think they need some more team fight.
I think they might go for the team fight since they have Disruptor as well, which already is quite good team fight. Queen of Pain, of course, as well, with her ultimate.
Is it possible to see a Naga carry from Resolution?
Unlikely.
I like it here.
It's a good setup for the Static Storm from Disruptor, but
you can safely push out lanes without actually being there.
I think he's not going to be able to come online as fast.
Yeah, I would be concerned with that as well. What other teamfight carries or options for Resolution?
Alchemist. I think could come online early enough to deal with the push. Pretty good versus Doom, decent versus Bat. Doesn't care too much about getting lassoed.
And there's some nice space that can be created with Night Stalker, Legion, and Queen picking off players in mid-game.
Resolution hasn't played it too much, though.
Cloud9's looking pretty solid here. C9's got a ban and then a pick here, and then Empire will have the last pick for Resolution.
I think Arabic could fit them well, but it's not a hero that Resolution plays as much, right?
Definitely not.
We should have a Jackie Mao here. Maybe
Looks like it.
Pugna, all in push.
Or Necrophos, some more sustain and team fight.
That could work.
I think Drow's still good.
Drow could still work as well.
What do you think about Terrorblade as a pick here still?
Definitely an option. I don't see anything wrong with it.
It's just that Legion can clear all of these illusions with one nuke early on in the game.
What do we got? Arc Warden. There it is.
Baby.
That pesky annoying hero.
Arc Warden is super annoying. Can summon a clone of himself, cast all sorts of juicy spells that deal some nice burst damage, but he has very bad mobility, so.
This is a hero that is very good at prolonging games, which we have agreed that is the Cloud9 style. Make it crazy. Let's get that game up to 2 hours and see if they're still playing sane.
They do have Doom though, so as much as the game keeps getting longer and longer, then he's gonna get more and more farm.
Void for Resolution. Okay, team fight.
They want to fight, yeah.
Yep, they're gonna combat these pushes whenever that Chronosphere's up. Look for the early game team fights at these tier 1 towers.
So really the story of these drafts is Cloud9 going push heavy and Team Empire looking to do some conquering in team fights. I cannot wait for this match to get started because the draft is looking very different than what we've seen today. So casters, take it away for Cloud9 versus Team Empire.
You know, there is an air of destiny when it comes to this series. Both teams come out the group stage with a result 6-10. This game was meant to begin at 6:10 p.m. and this game will now go for 610 minutes. It's going to be hopefully a terrific series. Arc Warden, a fantastic split pusher, but we didn't get the real dream. No Naga. Instead, Team Empire focusing on team fight with the Faceless Void.
Is that the real dream? I don't know. You have some weird dreams, man.
I have some
That's not
amazing
my
dreams,
idea.
and all of them consider they have to go for 2 hours in length, so I get a good night's dream sleep.
That's fair enough. Naga is a good hero to dream about if you want to dream a long Dota game in general.
Yeah, count the Nagas jumping over the fence.
So I think the panel pretty much hit the nail on the head. There's like clashing of styles. Cloud9's is more split push, slower, and then with elements of coming together to push with the Dragon Knight mainly. Whereas Empire are playing very classic Empire stuff. It's all about skirmishing. It's all about playing fast, going for kills. We don't see too much objective taking out of their lineup. They don't actually have any hero who's very good at that. But they have heroes that can stun and deal damage. And that is classic CIS Dota.
To be honest, I thought with the objectives, we would have seen that from Resolution. I was waiting for like the Morphling pickup to come because it's been that split push objective plus team fight objective he brings, going for the early E-Blade pop rush, and a whole bunch of other options they have, but they went for the Faceless Void. Do you feel like Empire, because of this pickup, are having a bad timing option against Cloud9? The panel was saying like the longer the game goes, the better it's going to be for Cloud9. How does it work for Team Empire? They're into a bold deck where it has to be won by 45, 50 minutes max.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Empire's lineup can definitely go late. I do see what they're saying though. Here, like Arc Warden gets very, very good later on in the game, and Dragon Knight can scale very well too. And by virtue of having a greedy 4 position like the Doom, he can definitely scale as well. But I think Empire can hold their own if they get through the laning stage and get through a good mid game, then they can definitely play late as well. What speaks for them in terms of getting there is that I think this is a very, very classic duo for, again, for CIS teams to run. This is something a lot of CIS teams have run in the past, the Night Stalker and Disruptor together. And the really logical synergy is that Night Stalker provides a lot of vision. And if you're an aggressive team that wants to run at people, you want to do 2 things. You want to fight them, and then you want to go. And then you want to force them to fight you. What can you do that with? You can do it with glimpse. You set up the fight, you go in. If the enemy team tries to respond, you have 2 options. You can glimpse the hero back into your team to kill it, or you can glimpse away reinforcements. So you can always guarantee this outnumbering situation. And they have plenty of ways to set it up. They have the Legion Commander duel, they have the Chronosphere, and a lot of nice synergy overall between their spells. So I think both teams' lineups are very good at different times, and then it's about whether they hit their timings correctly or not.
So we can look for those timings. As you said, Team Empire, they can initiate/counter-initiate, and they can also mess up with Cloud9's initiation. The Batrider, I'm interested to see how much of an impact he has in this game. Going up against both Disruptor and the Legion Commander makes Lasso very difficult to hit. But MSS was also the big victory offlaner of Cloud9. One of the big reasons they got a win in the last couple of days of the group stage was his big 5-man Dream Coil and 5-man Silence on Puck. The same kind of question will be asked of him in this game. Can he get that initiation? Can he give Cloud9 that momentum they really require? That's going to come from farm positioning as well as just the ability to get his items.
He definitely needs to play a very good game here. I think this is a difficult Batrider game, personally. As the panel pointed out, his vision is limited by the Night Stalker. There's the press the attack and the glimpse, as you said.
Yep.
And in addition to that, I don't feel like his lane matchup is particularly good. It's Batrider favored, but it's not the classic Batrider will absolutely destroy this melee carry without help. Void with help has potential on this lane. Time dilation is extremely annoying to play Batrider against, because this hero is all about spamming spells. And the Void is going to go for a Magic Stick, Quelling Blade, and then skill up point in time dilation early probably, and then there's no way Batrider will kill him on this lane, unless Resolution makes a really big mistake. So he should be able to hold his own.
PPD was mentioning the fact that AUI, not a great, doesn't want to see him rotate, likes to see him go inside the jungle. But thanks to the pressure being applied by Roger with this Night Stalker into mid lane, Fada was already dropped down pretty low. He's only got one shared Tango left, and there's 130 gold towards his 650 gold bottle. That's a rather expensive thing to push towards, so it's going to be difficult for him. But it does hold the Doombringer in the mids. No extra rotations up. Instead, it allows the other lanes to harass him pretty heavily. MSS now having to burn that south. 3 tangos left for him for consumables. Ghostic's a little bit luckier. He's got press the attack. So when Pilot Eye and Envy try and beat the crap out of him, he does have his own self-heal from abilities.
Yeah, the Ghostic Legion Commander lane is actually pretty good. If you're picking Legion Commander and you can get this kind of 1-on-2, you're pretty happy. You can purge off the Flux with press the attack, so you can almost always get out. They have no stun in their lane, so you can always just TP away. Unless there's a rotation coming in from AUI, who they have eyes on currently, so there's no risk of that up top. And that means Ghostic will be getting a lot of experience in gold here. And when it comes to this matchup, the Legion Commander versus Arc Warden, Arc is one of the heroes I don't have too much experience with and against. But one of Arc's weaknesses in lane is that he has pretty mediocre attack damage and very low armor and mobility.
Oh, Roger.
So Legion can take advantage.
It could be in trouble. Infernal Blaze just coming off cooldown now for AUI, so gets the stun, gets the slow. The Stomp, however, did not connect. He turns to go for the Void, but so slow thanks to the 3 points of Sticky Napalm. And MSS taunts his way to first blood.
This is one of the things PPD mentioned as well. Combining Batrider and Doom together can put a lot of pressure early on. Both heroes hit, I want to say, their first spike. It's maybe a bit too early to say that for those heroes, but when both heroes are level 2, you have a lot of kill potential. Infernal Blade or Scorched Earth together with the level 2 Batrider Napalm plus Firefly is very easy to connect, and it kills with on heroes without mobility.
Definitely helps when Roger also goes to invade the dire side of the river to steal the bounty runes. This allowed them with their Observer Ward to understand that no one else was nearby, so Cloud9 able to 100% know they can get away with that kill. This gives really good start to MSS, even though he's having a hard time having stacks to steal. Opochka's not getting involved in that at all. Ghostic, they're waiting for the press the attack. The Wraith comes up too late, so easy run away for the Legion Commander. But MSS under pressure. Roger trying to use his wings to block the Manta Ray. MSS will get up the hill. There is another Void coming off cooldown now. There is no glimpse for the Disruptor, however. So unable to grab MSS and pull him back into a more, well, advantageous position for Team Empire.
And he's also getting a full creep wave. This is very nice for MSS, actually. He kept 2 supports busy. Still going to get the full experience from this, unless Disruptor really annoys him with this pull. This is actually a pretty nice play coming out from Opochka here, forcing the creep wave to fight this stack, and it's a lot harder for Batrider to get CS, and he won't be able to kill any of these creeps.
Especially considering like the damage right now that Lizard does more than MSS does. And then they can't even get the runes. Roger's able to take the Invis rune from the bottom. Ghostic's backed off the top lane after the early pressure. Just trying to farm up. Pilot die thanks to that Observer Ward. He understands how low he is. Only 1 point up on Poison Attack, but having AUI there to help out. Ghostic is in a world of hurt. Goes down. And nice rotations. AUI involved in 100% of the kills so far, but small sample size, it being only 2.
Yep. He gets to steal a nice creep here, though. He ends up devouring the golem, the shard golem, which is a pretty powerful spell for Doom, since Doom has mana problems early on, so most of the active spells he actually can't afford to use very well, but Hurl Boulder is free. It's a 30-second cooldown for a very nice stun, and then if you die, because someone thought that would be funny, he actually splits into 2 small Doomlings, and they each also have that shard ability, so you can do a lot of damage by actually dying.
It's because we thought it would be balanced in. That's the balance is the word.
I mean, it makes sense. He eats the golem and gets its ability, and then, therefore you have to become 2 little Doomlings.
Yep. Fada just getting Shadow Striked and screamed up. FN has gone for the 1-1-3 build, so not a lot of points in the harassment. Makes sense when you're going up against a DK with that level 2 Dragon Blood, not to mention stick charge regeneration to work with.
And FN seems to be having a very good grip on this lane. He's almost a full level ahead of the Dragon Knight. I don't think this is this quad favored of a matchup if it's in isolation, but with both Night Stalker and Doom having been involved, it can go a bit both ways. But FN, I believe, is coming out a bit further ahead here than was expected. So that's very good for Team Empire for their mid lane.
Yeah, that's fantastic for all the lanes when you look at it. It's been a big role. Okay, well, first stun, there is nothing to follow up from AUI. That is actually Roger to rotate in, and they're going to just silence him and just push him back. Scorched Earth means that AUI will survive. But it's the aggressive wards. There's 2 Observer wards that's being committed to watch MSS closely. Really, Fada underneath the tower? He's got so much regeneration. This kill is very difficult with rotation in from Dazzle. That's not going to help. FN's able to grab that DD rune from the top river and regen.
Empire are definitely happy with this. They got a Dazzle TP that I think was unnecessary, but they were worried that FN could go for that kill on Fata. So force a TP, force some rotation and movement. That gives more space top to Ghostic. Should be getting his level 6 very early this game, actually. And is he trying to snipe the courier here, Roger?
He was looking for it. He knows something's around, but the courier isn't going to play that game.
It's also very hard to kill for Night Stalker without phase boots. I think he needs to hit it 3 or 4 times. So if they're paying just a little bit of attention, they should be able to fly away from him.
Nice Obs 1 to go up on top, gives Pilot9 and AUI the vision advantage to fight the top lane. Ghostic hiding in the only place he can, but when Envy throws in the Wraiths, hiding in the trees, they're going to throw a secondary one. Is there a TP support to come in? Radiant have already scanned, but it was too late. Pilot9 and AUI were further west. These Razors continue to connect on the mark. There's so many heroes up on top, because remember, you're doubling the Envy, not to mention, while all this is going on, Resolution arrives with a big Chronosphere. He's caught Pilot9 die. They're going for the Arc Ward, and it's Eternal Envy they're going to bring down. This one is not a fake one. Pilot9 will manage to retreat. Doesn't have that level in the shallow graves, unable to save him. But while that happened, the courier was sniped by the Night Stalker between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower, and it was holding the bottle of Fata. It was slowed up because the bottle was empty.
That makes a lot of sense.
This is actually kind of crippling for the DK who wants to be spamming his Breathe Fire. But I still also want to flag the fact that early on, at least there's now some CS coming into MSS, but because the Night Stalker was focusing more on that bottom lane, the Batrider has got nothing. And now when Night Stalker turns his attention towards the mid, they can focus onto the DK, bring him down. Stick charges won't help out. And Team Empire, critical kills now coming their way.
Yeah, Fata used the Dragon form, and he wanted to put some pressure on this tower. It's very standard Dragon Knight play, but didn't have enough assistance there. He was completely stranded on the opposite side of the river. He gets 3-on-1, easy kill with Disruptor. In many situations there, the Dragon Knight will be able to disengage by just being tanky, having raindrop maybe, maybe some treads or whatever. But right now he's not very farmed on the Dragon Knight, and the Glimpse is very annoying to deal with in these situations. Now it's day though, so now Cloud9 get to chill a little bit, probably get some of the farm that they really want. Maybe get their Doom and Batrider up to level 6 before the next nighttime would be very important. Should be doable. They have 3.5 minutes.
Getting that Hand of Midas onto Eternal Envy, so both his level as well as item progression can continue, but Ghosty doesn't want to settle for this. Moving forward, try and chase down MSS. Needs the movement speed to get him, or maybe they just glimpse him back in. And the first duel of the game will be a winner in favor of the Catman.
It's great to see Empire play Disruptor. Whether you're cheering for them or just want to see good Dota, this is one of the heroes that can highlight the strength of Empire's gameplay the most. It punishes, or it rewards the own team's aggression so much that they will constantly be looking to use this Glimpse, and I think so far it's set up 2 or 3 kills for them already out of the 3 they have.
Pressure being applied by Cloud9 towards that top tower, thanks to Dragon Form out from Fada. There was a TP out from AUI. He had to go towards the mid lane to try and defend that. FN happy to stand his ground. Doesn't have the mana for the Sonic Wave. So they just look for some chip damage into AUI, who's very happy with this.
That's a great tower to claim, by the way. This tier 1 top is not the easiest tower to push, but getting that minute 9 is very nice. Generally, we see teams taking the opposite team's safe lane tower, but they managed to get the off lane tower early. This could give them a very interesting access point into the Radiant Triangle, including the Ancients area that might be farmed by Void later. Having easier access into that with smoke movements and just movement in general also favors a hero like Doom, who can access and just get extra farm that way. So very good for them to get that. Oh, Dragon Knight tried for the stun mid. FN with the quick blink. The old Dragon Knight stun was connected there, but now it's a very, very fast projectile. FN quick on the button there.
Sonica's Queen of Pain is normally the one that takes time when she turns to blink. But right now, thanks to her survival, finished up the full Veil of Discord, so amplification going to start arriving for Team Empire. That's a beautiful thing for Miposhka as he rapidly approaches his level 6. It's Team Empire beating that bottom tower down that will give the goal they're looking for, but Eternal Envy here with Eternal Envy to defend the bottom tower. But this is all just buying time now. You've still got Chronosphere up from Team Empire. They're still going to feel fairly confident to fight while this is up. The question mark is going to be, where do you get your return if you're Team Empire? Envy, can he keep just grouping up here as Cloud9, taking tower after tower? Is there a point where Team Empire want to try and fight before Blink Dagger is up on Legion, which is taking some time?
I think if they're in position and they have those spells ready, they can definitely defend. They have some decent spells to nuke out with, especially the overwhelming odds is powerful. If they find any sort of decent Chronosphere, they have more than enough damage to throw in there between overwhelming odds, Queen of Pain spells, and the Static Storm. Disruptor just got the Tome now, so Static Storm is available for Miposhka. They might sacrifice this tower because it's very difficult to defend, but it actually looks like Empire wants to fight this.
They're smoking, but MSS in the right neighborhood. Then again, Itzy. Chrono's feared up. There's no follow-up straight away apart from putting the wall down from Miposhka, holding MSS in position. The one charge is allowing him to stay alive just that little bit longer. The tower's taking some damage, but now Team Empire move forward. They want to kill right now. All they have is a fake Eternal Envy. They don't want that, but then again, it's so bloody hard to kill off. And gives you almost nothing for your commitment. So Cloud9 get the big rotation out, big ultimates, while Fada's been chipping away at the mid tower. Miposhka is here. It's a level 3 glimpse. He's now out of range of Fada.
He got pinged out. I think Bad Rider either read the TP or got a glimpse of him through the tree line out of Dragon Knight's vision in mid. Yeah, I think Cloud9 did a good job there, just disengaging. You know, you send out Bad Rider to scout. All right, he broke a smoke. He got killed. If you stick around there, you lose heroes to glimpse. Disruptor held both his Glimpse and Static Storm still, I believe, for that kill. So,
and now you get the 12-minute Hand of Midas over on Eternal Envy.
It's pretty good timing.
Not too bad when you also buy the Aquila and the Wand.
Yeah, and he has a death. So that's I think this is pretty much par for the course.
MSS, here's a nice little target for you, catching out Roger. Again, trying to contest that 12-minute bounty rune in the safest area on Cloud9's jungle. Gets the Observer Ward down as well. Not certain if that was scattered out by Cloud9, but they'll know when the Ancients don't spawn.
We're going to keep looking for opportunities.
Look towards bottom lane. There's your opportunity. AUI's got Doom. He tries to. Brings the sword up, but time walk away. Resolution gets away to safety easily.
I think that nerf to Doom was one of the things that made the hero fall out of favor quite a lot. Doom used to have a faster cast point, and now that it takes longer to cast, that's when heroes like Faceless Void, who used to be hard countered by Doom, actually have a fighting chance now to react. I believe the cast time got about doubled or something like that, so you actually can react here, and you see Resolution. If that was a fast cast, they get that kill. So you can take advantage of coming out of fog mainly with Doom if you cast it from the tree line like that, but AUI ran into the vision of the Void, and it just needs a simple time walk, and he's totally fine.
Well, Team Empire right now are getting farm on the hero they want to get it on, which is Ghost Stick. Get him closer towards that Blink Dagger. Miposhka at the moment is also running defense. After the scan behind the tier 1 tower on top, they also understand that Cloud9 is not defending this tower yet. Or if they are, they're not doing it from on top of the tower. The Obs and Sentry scout that out, and in fact AUI scouts out the Obs and Sentry. Perfect time for a counter ward, allowing MSS and AUI to move to the top lane.
Empire can't really go for this kill on the Doom. They don't have enough in the tank. Now they do. More heroes coming in.
Glimpse, yeah, you've got that Veil of Discord and the Sonic Wave available. They'll commit the duel, and that's an extra plus 10, so 20 in total for Ghost Stick.
It's going to cost them the mid tower. Maybe if they can get top tower, they're okay with this, but trading a tier 4,
That's the
Position
real.
for
That's the
tower.
real Eternal Envy. He's still up there, silenced up. Roger falls down from the sky, but now they just beat into him. Sonic Wave. FN is not mucking around. You can say goodbye to the Arc Warden. He's the highest, well, was the highest net worth on Cloud9. And Resolution, some decent damage to the bottom towers, also forcing rotation from Cloud9.
And
Fnatic coming
Empire
up
should
with
get
that.
this tower. So that means they got the position 1, position 4, and then traded towers. I think they're totally fine with that. They are playing against Dragon Knight, so it's very natural to lose some map control early on. It's hard to always defend your towers if the Dragon Knight uses the Dragon Form at the right time when you don't have TPs to defend, or if the lineup just favors the Dragon Knight. Being 1 tower behind minute 15 is totally okay for Empire. They're still getting a good farm, and Envy at the end of the day just really out of position in this play, standing behind a tier 1 completely alone with no allies against a Night Stalker. It's generally not a recipe for something that is not a disaster. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I'm not certain either. But either way, Lincoln Sphere. Resolution was rapidly approaching it, just finished up his ultimate orb. This is a nice little counter to the effect the Batrider will give. Also potential enabler for Ghostic, who just completed his Blink Dagger. So hard to disable him if you want to give him the Lincolns to jump in and fight. Multiple options either way, but it secures the Faceless Void the ability to live, which is a challenge sometimes with a Void.
It's a really high value item. There's 3 great spells to block in this game that all have pretty fast cast times. So still, the Doom is important to block, right? If you've played aggressively, if you've jumped in, you can't just dodge the Doom by blinking out. Then you have the Lincolns. You have the Lincolns against Batrider Lasso, and you have the Lincolns against Dragon Tail of Dragon Knight. So all these 3 heroes have 1 spell that trigger Lincolns, and all of them are really integral to how the hero works in fighting. And Empire are building to fight, so they just want to have items that allow them to weave in and out of fights with their heroes like Faceless Void and make sure they stay safe. Here we go.
Inside the daytime, the wall is up. Maposhka, not what he wanted to do. Didn't catch anybody. They can glimpse back AUI if they want to, but actually, no, they can't.
He glimpsed the bat, I think.
Oh, he did it at the start. Trying to stop the
airball.
initiation from Cloud9, and then blowing everything from Disruptor.
I think they just weren't expecting the
Chrono Resolution just on the tip. Vada locked in for position for the moment. FN doesn't have Sonic Wave. 3 seconds on cooldown. Vada has to just stick around for the moment, but now all the rest of Cloud9, they have arrived to the fight. Roger putting himself in front of the Red Bull. That is one hell of a flag that Cloud9 does not chase up the hill to the Radiant Ancients.
That was one of the most ambitious chronos I think I've seen the whole tournament. I'm not sure how that was supposed to land them a kill. It was on a Dragon Knight on the opposite end of the chrono, next to his tier 1 tower with teammates. Maybe he was just trying to force TPs in reaction to Cloud9. If that's what he was trying to do, it was mission accomplished. Pretty much the whole team showed up and they didn't lose any heroes. But in order for Empire to find kills on Dragon Knight like that, they need the chrono to be closer to his own team so everyone can come in and cast their spells, ideally right on the edge so they can even duel him out of it. And maybe most importantly, they need to have an idea where Dazzle is. He can always save. That's part of the really big strength of the hero, is that Shallow Grave. Against this type of lineup, it's very good.
The other side of things is as well, you have the initiation from Ghostic. Doesn't work that well with a Chronosphere, but they need the burst damage. FN didn't have mana for Sonic Wave.
Yeah, they didn't have Sonic Wave, they didn't have Static Storm. I think if Cloud9 didn't come in to help, I'm actually not even sure if Dragon Knight would have died. Maybe if one hero helped him, that would have been enough to deter that aggression. Just the Dazzle there, and they would have been scared.
But it's the best of 1 situation you're in. You know, if you have one horrible fight, you're going to lose that momentum you need to have on the Cloud9 lineup.
And sometimes it also pushes you to go for over-aggressive moves because you just want to get something done. You feel like if I get this good kill, it's going to propel us in the right direction. Finding a kill on the Dragon Knight with the Chronosphere is totally worth it. He doesn't need to land multi-hero Chronos, they just need to kill the right hero. And Dragon Knight is definitely the primary target together with Arc Warden. Still, that didn't work, and that's really good news for Cloud9, because that means they can take this bottom tier 2 tower for free. When Chrono is on cooldown, I think Cloud9's line is just flat out stronger right now, so Empire has to yield that.
Yeah, they have no choice. They've been working on this tier 1 tower mid for a very long time. Yeah. And Vada's actually going to TP back in to try and defend this. Thanks to the Obs and Sentry down for Cloud9, they understand any attack that will come from the north. But for the moment, Empire will not be obliging. In fact, they're all backing up. No smokes currently on anybody. In fact, Resolution still looking for the team fight item. He's going for Blink Dagger after having that Lincoln Sphere now. MSS would love to have a crack at him. Only got drums, no Blink Dagger. Legion Commander is nearby, but underneath the Observer Wall, they know he's too far away. And Lincoln Sphere triggers. That was the Doom that actually burnt it. Then trying to get the lasso on him. That was an optimistic fight as well from C9.
Yeah, they were not going to kill him anyway.
And now FN having a haste rune, moves over MSS, drum charge or not, the duel is out. Everyone will come in to help out. 5 heroes from Empire just to be the death watchers of MSS.
Oh, PPD was talking about Envy being the guy who makes weird things happen. So far, he's been playing pretty stable, and it's everyone else who's doing weird stuff.
No. This is the different type of Envy. Envy, when he plays these hard farmers, you got to wait 40 minutes before the EE factor kicks in.
I guess so.
You're only 19 minutes in. Give it time.
But I don't know if they didn't see he had Lincolns, but they had like 15 seconds on both heroes to click him and check his inventory.
Oh,
and if
he's showed himself in the lane for
and
the
if
last
they wanted
minute
to
and a
doom
half.
him into lasso, so doom to break Lincolns and then lasso, there was no one else there. They couldn't kill him. It wasn't even close.
I suppose that's one way to trigger Lincoln Sphere. Just send Eternal Envy's illusion at him. That's one way to do it.
They have ways of breaking Lincolns. It's not only these key spells. They can also poison touch, but that's really hard to do because Dazzle will generally be standing in a very defensive position. The spell doesn't have that good cast range, but in theory, that could do it as well. When it comes to Cloud9, it's worth highlighting that even though that play failed, it's not that common to see Dragon Knight at the top of the net worth. And Fata is getting very farmed. Now he's farming a triple or a quad ancient stack. That's something Dragon Knight can also do. And we generally talk about this here. You know, he can knock down some tier 1 towers. He starts the push. This hero can carry. It gets really strong later. Some of the talents that Dragon Knight has got since 7.0 are pretty incredible. He gets this very high XP gain on level 15 if he wants.
The plus 40%.
40% there. He can take 40 damage, which helps him a lot. He has splash damage. The 25 talents are both incredible. 75 move speed or 12 armor and 12 regen. Makes him a very, very formidable late game carry, actually.
And this mid, Eternal Envy. Empire's been working on that for a while, and he's going to deny the tier 1 tower. Resolution still wants to fight, but there's just no one to fight. In fact, he's now changed up his mind for the Blink Dagger. Had enough of that. He's actually looking at a Shadow Blade.
That's good. That was an item I thought we were going to see multiple of in this game. If you're playing against Arc Warden, what you want to do is you want to catch him off guard when he's split pushing. He can't only split push with his clone because then he gets onto farm. The real hero has to go on farm as well. And Shadow Blades on both the Legion Commander and the Void later on will make this split push type of game that Cloud9 will inevitably want to play a lot harder to perform.
You want to play the vision game. Right now, Empire is looking at Cloud9, and Cloud9 can't look back. Their eyes are just too short-sighted.
They're pushing bottom. It's okay.
That they are. They've been doing this for a while. They've been trying to bait out with AUI in the lane, and then MSS waiting for the blink. But FN's on his way down.
And I think this is something Cloud9 identified in the draft. Like, look at their lineup. They can't push towers. So when Empire are grouping up to try to take a fight or to push or whatever, Cloud9 can just avoid them.
He's found MSS, jumps in, starts off with a duel. They got the damage required to kill MSS off, or do they? Eternal Envy is Boy in the bubble and now Boy in the grave. He's actually alive. MSS turns in to keep the fight going. Disruptor will be picked off. You can say goodbye to Ghostic, and Night Stalker revealed from the weave. The stun cannot reach in time.
That was a sick magnetic field from Envy. Really nice timing on that, catching it just on the edge, so MSS stays alive. They come in for the grave and counterplay very, very well there. So Cloud9 getting 2 kills. And again, it's this weird game, right, where Empire have the vision advantage and they can pick the fights that they want to take, more or less, if they present themselves.
Well, they've presented one as the Doombringer, AUI. That's Eternal Envy trying to help him out in the bottom lane again. The bubbles arrive. And Fada, he's got Blink Dagger. Resolution's got a Chronosphere, but he caught the Queen of Pain inside of it. He does have the damage now coming outside of it once more, but Roger, what can he do? They want Eternal Envy, but Pylai die! The grave is there! Eternal Envy will survive. Resolution will help finally bring him down, but at what cost? You've already lost the Queen of Pain, but Pochka being buffed up by Ghostic with press the attack, trying to get him some distance away from Fada. Even the Courier is being used as bait while Resolution battling against Pylai Die. Finally, he'll get that kill, not realizing MSS is on the hill. They don't know he's there. He's got the Blink Dagger to get back down again. He'll use it now to head south, but Resolution with the Shadow Blade is chasing after Fada. They have the Observer Ward. They see him. Is there range for it? The level 4 glimpse is too far away.
Yeah. It was pretty close to reach there, but Fatsa saw the movement of the Disruptor through the middle lane and then disengaged. Took the right path away to not get glimpsed off. At the end of the day, it's a pretty even fight here overall.
That's where it all began.
Now we get to see this very nice magnetic field and buys just enough time to get the sticks off, and then the grave comes from the south. Excellent defensive play here from Cloud9. And then what I was saying was that we're getting into the stage where Empire has the vision superiority and they can kind of pick their fights. At the same time, they can't force the fights to happen by going to a tower because Cloud9 can just defend pretty well. Like the pushing power of Empire is very lacking. It's very obvious. So it's this weird game. I don't want to call it a game of cat and mouse, but
how about Cat and Island? You can call it that.
I guess so.
Who's going to get stranded? Not finding an objective.
Well, Cloud9 want to fight now. Daytime.
Yep. They're smoked up. They're looking for the opening.
Actually.
Courier's running out. The MSS revealed for a second, but he gets the lasso. It's over on the Legion Commander. Not to mention the stun and disruptor means no extra disable, but they didn't focus their damage. So Ghosting, he's got some movement speed to try and escape from this, and maybe into the trees. Problem is he's still burning. MSS gonna help out with that. The Firefly, it'll wear off in a second, but a second is long enough. Legion Commander will fall in the northern trees.
Easy daytime pick for them. When they smoke and they find anyone with Bat Rider, that's... Oh, well, not anyone. They need to either find Legion Commander or a hero who's not close to Legion Commander. And they found Legion Commander. And the counterplay is pretty difficult. Technically, there could have been a glimpse from Disruptor, but that very nice coordination with the Dragon Knight Dragon Tailing him right away enabled Cloud9 to pick up those 2 kills pretty easily. So the type of game we're going to look at now will probably be a long game, realistically. I don't think the Dragon Knight is in a position where he's just going to 5-man down mid with the Arc Warden just yet. Still think Empire has enough fighting in the tank for that. So it becomes a question of whether Empire themselves during nighttime can find these picks where they find kills close to the tower so they can at least get a collateral and start doing some structural damage, or maybe a Roshan. And a lot of it, I think, comes down to, can you find that key Chronosphere on 1 or 2 targets that are important, and at the same time get off the dual or static storm so that you are in control of the fight. It's not enough that they get a jump because of that save from the Dazzle and that we saw the Arc Warden before. It has to be a little bit better coordinated.
You're right. There's tons of sustain, and they need a way to get around that.
Empire's going to take it.
Vision's the easiest way to do it. So Empire, beats the bottom tower, brings it to 18. They have fortification available, Cloud9.
One
They
swing.
lose nothing for it.
He's going to respect them. He's scared. Oh, okay, FN's not scared.
They're smoking.
Whatever.
Cloud9 are on their way. 4-man smoke up a long way back. They actually commit the weave pretty early on. Resolutions, the man out of position. Lincoln Spear will trigger. He's on the run out. Shadowblade is down, but where is the detection? It doesn't exist. And in fact now, okay, the dust is triggered. It does chip the Faceless Void, but Ghostek, under his own Invis rune, he's not coming up. There's a Sentry Ward. In fact, 2 of them planted down for Cloud9, ready for the fight that never came.
This is giving me flashbacks to their game against OG in the groups, where they had like 2 or 3 team fights in a row that they didn't have the correct detection in, and they were being kited like crazy by 2 Glimmer Capes, or 1 Glimmer Cape even, just ruining their game. This time around,
committed.
They need the dust on the Bat, I think. It shouldn't be on the Doom. Doom is not the guy who's going to jump and open the fight. Ideally, they have it on both. But there needs to be some sort of detection on the Bat Rider if they want to go for the Void to guarantee that they can get this pick off. Granted, he is the only invisible hero on the Radiant side. He's a pretty important one. It's an extremely high-value kill they just lost there from not having a dust.
Yep.
And finally, AUI runs in. He's like, I'm here to help, guys, and it's way too late. The Sentry drops down from Pilot Eye, but he's a backliner.
Yep.
He's not going to be able to get that off in time.
So it's only going to help if Team Empire commit, but as you said before, when we're talking about the very start of the game, the draft, Team Empire have the option where they can go in and they can be the big fighters, or they can be the counter-initiator. So Empire don't lose anything from backing away from a fight if you then just take one of the Cloud9 players out, thanks to Glimpse. And as far as protection from that, the only person who really has it is Fada with his BKB.
Yep, hasn't used it yet, though. It hasn't been a fight. So it's still on 10 seconds.
The farm continues for Eternal Envy. Now the full Mjolnir is completed, along with his BTs. So now they can make the Dragon Knight go sparkly.
Got some pretty big items on the way here for Cloud9. The 4 staff of Bat Rider will be completed in 50 gold. That's very big. The Doom is going for a, it looks like, Halberd. He was queuing up the medallion, but he's going to finish off the Halberd first. Very nice item to break the Linkens of the Void, so he can Doom him himself. Also, just the disarm is very nice in general against a couple of these Radiant heroes. And we were looking at a third thing. Assault Cuirass for Fata, actually not that far away. He is very far from the Dragon Knight.
Team Empire are coming. 5 heroes smoked up. They got a good option. Both Fada and AUI locked in, but it's not that great, actually. Pile die. Perfect positioning around the back to blink in. Resolution not wanting any piece of that. Time walks away from the fight. Now triggers up the Shadowblade. They do not have detection around him at the moment.
Fata felt very safe. He has his BKB and he was woven. So was
Glimpse.
Doom. Oh, Doom gets
This is what they want. Bring him into the duel, and Doombringer is falling. Pylai can't get close up. In fact, Pylai solo crowned up by Resolution. He'll finish the job. So it is a 1-for-2 trade-off. You did lose the Disruptor, but Resolution turns his attention towards Fata. BKB starts protecting him, and it's actually Ghostic who's in trouble. Fata blinks over to him, realizing he is not any threat from the rest of Team Empire.
Where was FN in all of this? Was he forced to blink away? Because they opened on the Doom and got that guy isolated, and they chronoed the Dazzle to try to prevent him from getting Grave off. So they got those 2 picks early and lost their Disruptor, and I'm just wondering what was keeping the Queen of Pain so far away.
Yule Scepter onto Fata, they're bringing in extra help. He doesn't have his BKB, he's got 17 1 charges. Envy going to put down the protection bubble. Resolution wants to come in, Time Dilation is going to help out with that one. Firefly, however, so much damage, but so is the Sonic Wave. FN, they end Fata's killing spree and blinks away. Queen of Pain will survive to get a double kill onto MSS, but the fight's not done yet. AUI TPing over towards the Shrine, but then a glimpse back, Eternal Envy locking him in. The electronic wall, but Pylai die. Gives him a secondary life. That Dazzle Grave on the money, and they are still going to retreat. No extra glimpse. Cloud9 will get out, and so will Team Empire.
I wonder if we're going to see the Queen of Pain pick up an Orchid, just having enough of this Grave to guarantee it. He can use the Yules aggressively on the Dazzle as well, but I think he wants to hold on to it for more defensive purposes a lot of the time. So here comes the Glimpse. So they get him glimpsed over. The Queen of Pain finishes off this kill, and now the Dragon Knight jumps in. Chrono on the Dazzles. Dazzle's gonna die. And the Queen of Pain is just holding on to her spells. Blinks down for a Dazzle who's already dead. Now moves over to the Dragon Knight. Kind of has to run away. So didn't get too much out of FN in this fight. Could have maybe gone for some secondary or tertiary heroes instead of the Dragon Knight, who's like the impossible kill. And it ends up being, I believe, that was just a 2-for-2 at that time.
Yep. But that's also then okay for FN. The fact he held onto the Sonic Wave, that second fight
he had it
would not have gone the way of Team Empire if he didn't have that. So understandable. He blinks for the hero kill. Maybe didn't realize that Resolution was so far into Pylai die. And now Team Empire grouping up around the top. Chrono's back off cooldown. They don't have Sonic Wave for 37 seconds, but they're going to add pressure to the top tower. Arc Warden. Well, it's not the real one. It's just another copy of Eternal Envy who can still piss off. He'll get glimpsed down to the bottom lane.
Interesting that that one doesn't get killed by Glimpse, actually. I think that's the only illusion in the game that doesn't get, but it's a clone, I suppose. But every other illusion gets one-shot by Glimpse.
Night Stalker's doing some scouting work, seeing that Cloud9 is moving over. They don't have an Observer Ward aggressively over there. It's only a sentry, but Empire get what they want. They beat down the tower. Now they're retreating back out. Resolution still looking for another item before the next fight. He's actually going to go for Manta style. He's still got his 7 charges on his Diffusal Blade. Actually, they're looking for someone to fight.
Damn, it would actually be super broken if Glimpse killed that clone. Think about that for a second. Arc Warden would be really bad if you could just one-shot that with spells like Glimpse or Hacks or whatever.
We already had the panel saying, oh man, this guy's a real hero during day 1 of the main event. The wonderful Disruptor. Yeah. Well,
so far, Miposhka's been playing a pretty good game, except that Panic, Static Storm, Kinetic Field he had in his own jungle. He's been pretty much spot on with a lot of the Glimpse kills, a couple of very nice Static Storms as well, worth adding. And here comes Cloud9, they're moving toward bottom.
Watch FN's patience. He just TP'd to the tier 3 tower. Now the Breathe Fire as well as Hand of Mines is used on the wave. I think they may know Cloud9 is there.
This smoke is, I think, very obvious, and in a way, maybe a little bit nonsensical. At least they get a ward out down here with the smoke, which is nice, but this is not the area of the map I think Cloud9 should be targeting right now. They need to cover the Roshan pit and try to overtake more of the top side of the map. They already have these bottom towers taken out, and unless Empire get caught completely off guard by this 5-man smoke, this is just wasted time. Now they're sitting down here waiting for someone from Empire to come out, but they've already read this play ages ago, and they're not going to walk into this trap.
Yeah, Resolution's enjoying the die jungle for the moment. Currently abroad farming their own lands. Ghostic has got his farm as well, and FN can just farm the creep wave when it arrives on the bottom. Meanwhile, other items started to appear. You talked about like those Glimmer Capes causing issues in the group stage. Roger has managed to complete up one of those, and the Manta style is rapidly approaching for the Faceless Void.
Yeah, that Manta is going to be powerful. He already has the Diffusal, so Diffusal Manta, he'll be able to Manta off the Sticky Napalm charges. He'll be able to make it more difficult for Doom to get his Doom off on him. He can Manta off a lot of the Arc Warden spells, and just has way more kill potential in his own Chrono. Should be able to start killing cores if they don't get Grave from full HP.
Miposhka's just trying to get rid of the runes.
Fata is angry.
Yeah, he's trying to come forward, but he doesn't move fast enough, even with the assistant push that came from MSS's 4-staff. They do have the second push now available. That's in the hands of Eternal Envy. A Hurricane Pike fully completed on him.
Probably going to see a Shadow Blade next on him. That's the standard build, at least on Arc Warden, is to get a Shadow Blade at some point. Alternatively, maybe BKB tanking up a little bit to stay alive in the fights against a lot of these heroes, or...
Is it still worth going in for like the older, like the Necrobook kind of style Arc Warden? Or is it better just to go the straight physical damage?
You can't go Necrobook this late. I don't think it's good in this game, at least. Maybe knowing Envy and long games, maybe like 7th, 8th item, it could be a thing.
Team Empire, here they come. Resolution, look for a target. MSS is just to the north. They haven't broken the smoke yet. Resolution under the cover of Shadowblade. We'll see Eternal Envy. Chrono's in up while the duel is on the DK. They're separating the targets and the Sonic Wave will connect on both. Fighter is deleted, but they still want Eternal Envy. Now Envy makes another copy of Envy as he retreats his real Envy back to the tier 3 tower, but there's a rest of support. Pylite Die still there with Shallow Grave intact. The Doom is out. It's on the Queen of Pain. She's already committed most of her abilities, and the Shallow Grave is used on Eternal Envy for the moment. In comes the overwhelming odds, and the damage from Maposhka will do the last bit of damage. Flame Break will tick down a couple of the Team Empire players, but Maposhka TP out just in time. The Fountain Regeneration will allow him to live, and 2 cores for Cloud9 lost. AUI is coming out for some level of revenge, but now Event can turn with a time dilation. What have they got to really help him out? A Shallow Grave from Pylite Die? Well, that's one thing, but MSS and Pylite Die, they say, bro, you got yourself into this mess. You gotta deal with it. You're dead. And now Empire moves so quickly, they're coming over towards the regeneration rune on top. I thought for a moment they may try and go for Roshan.
That was pretty much the dream connection. If they get to jump both cores at the same time and don't get counterplayed, that's the best thing they can hope for.
Dazzle was so far away from
Exactly. The 2 cores were farming over in that triangle area together, which is already pretty greedy that they're standing both in that area. And then they get the duel with Blade Mail onto Dragon Knight while they chrono the Arc Warden off. So nicely executed fight from Empire that got a big pick there. They still can't they can't get any objectives based on it though, because their waves are pushed in, but it's a lot of gold in their pockets, and they're starting to progress towards some really big items. With the Orchid completed and Queen, she's going to look toward the AC. The BKB for Ghost Dick is very, very close. Great item against Arc Warden, who doesn't really have any good solutions to it if you find the right duel. And even the Disruptor is closing in on Aghanim's Scepter.
Oh boy. Like if Maposhka finishes that, then Cloud9 have got more problems than I think they can currently deal with. Unless they can get the initiation, but that's the one thing that AUI cannot give them. He went for the Halberd to start with. There's no invis slide in and then get that Doom off. It's not Cloud9 who was setting the terms of the fight, and this was another problem we were flagging early on in the game. MSS, he just can't get the space, and it's not because it's not his own fault. It's just the fact that his hero just doesn't work well against Team Empire. Even if he gets the initiation, it probably won't achieve anything. So all he can do is just grab a hero in the middle of the fight and hope that enough of his cores are not controlled that they can kill it off.
Yeah, it's not easy. Really not easy playing Bat this game. I think he's done a pretty admirable job, but they haven't really been able to find the fights that they want. Especially the Doom has seemed very underwhelming to me personally in this game. He had the good first blood that he found together with Batrider, and since then AOI has been pretty quiet. And his farm isn't even that good, because they have other heroes that are claiming so much. The Dragon Knight and the Arc Warden really need to farm up a lot of the map, so AOI doesn't get to scale as much. They even have the Batrider and split push duty a lot of the time with Firefly. There's only so many creeps on the map. You can't mine a gold mine that's empty.
They're going to try and smoke up by the looks of it, but then again, Empire making their intentions rather well known. Heading in through the top, still no one's taken Roshan yet. Thanks to Eternal Envy. This is the second version of him, pushing bottom lane. Team Empire may want to come back. Beyond their effect. Yeah, here comes the Queen of Pain. They're coming back to defend from a clone.
That's Arc Warden for you.
Yeah. It's not what Team Empire want to really have. They just finished up the Meta Style and Resolution. They just got that BKB on the Legion Commander. And they understand that, like, C9 have some really good high ground defense. They can just bubble the entire rampway if they want to.
Empire can't push.
No.
That's just the state of the game, and that's how it's going to be for a long time. And still, it's very uncharacteristic for a Dota game to not have a Roshan kill 40 minutes in.
Yep.
That is very unusual.
Oh, that TP, Envy, you know it's going to be a clone. He's not going to risk himself like that. Well,
still nice, 180 gold, some XP. And all right, that's enough for them to want to go Roche, because now they know there's no Arc Warden clone, which is actually a really big deal. Now Arc Warden is about half as strong for the next 15 seconds. On the other side of the map, and Cloud9 are not really showing any intention to go there. Okay, now they are. They're weaving up. They have a smoke on Pi, but they're not using it.
And of
They
course
actually have no idea this is happening.
And because that weave is being used defensively, there's no way they can scout out Roshan. There's no way they can actually start removing that armor from Team Empire and allow some of their physical damage to connect.
You know,
This is actually Fnatic getting voided up. Miposhka going to glimpse him back. The wall is there. He has the BKB, so they're not going to commit much more until Resolution gets the perfect Chronosphere. It got Arc Warden as well. The Shallow Grave. It got to reach the Dragon Knight, but Pylai Ghostic finds his position, gets the duel on him. They can bring down the clone as well. Eternal Envy is gone. And where is the extra hunt? MSS has already gone home. The Radiant Courier was sniped off in the middle of all of that shenanigan.
I think Fata needs to realize he's not immortal, even though he's farmed on the Dragon Knight. That was one of those moments where you're like, I don't really want to BKB a glimpse, but
They're coming in.
they weren't ready to fight back. That's a very big kill. He maybe has to buy back here, which is a very big expense 40 minutes in.
Eternal Envy starts
then-
making clones again, and Team Empire have to once more back out.
But then Arc Warden had an ability, and then you're fine.
And that was the moral of the story, boys and girls.
Yeah, they hold. But that's still very big kills for Empire. Getting the first Roshan also very nice for them. That was the first one, right? It hadn't died.
Yes, that
There's
was
no cheese, so.
that was the first.
I mean, that's a silver lining for Cloud9, but ultimately they're losing a lot of control. They've not really touched an objective, I think, for 15 minutes, more or less. They're just farming, trying to split push, but they're not finding anything to really progress them in the game.
And they're so close together as well. Like, you want to feel the momentum of the game. All you have to do is look at the experience graph. The fact that you've moved from the advantage that was sort of in favor of Cloud9, but it's just skyrocketed up for Team Empire. The gold graph doesn't tell you as much of a story. You know the graph is swinging up, but there's still a lot of farm for Cloud9 to get. You're running a BT Arc Warden who can do shenanigans like this, killing off Miposhka, and no one can help Miposhka in this situation. This is just Arc Warden things.
Yeah, he went for the BKB, so. Very nice item on Arc Warden, obviously, against this type of lineup. Makes him able to solo kill the Disruptor without getting glimpsed on either real or clone.
But now the hero he killed, the hero he was probably trying to lay items on, the Aghanim Scepter arrived.
It is available, yeah.
So 41 minutes in, it's here. It's hard to actually stop him when he's got the plus 60 gold per minute from level 10. Eventually you can reach it.
I'm starting to think about the mental game here, honestly. Empire have put themselves in a position when they can't really push very well, and then when it comes to high ground, they're playing against Arc Warden. Are they going to get flashbacks to the group stage? Eventually, in that game against, who was it? They were playing IG Vitality, I think. The 120-minute defense with Invoker and Drow Ranger. At some point, Empire were just like, okay, you know what, let's go. And then they tried again, and again, and again, and eventually they lost running their heads against a wall. In a best-of-one elimination game like this, you're going to have a lot of patience before you do something like that. You don't want to get eliminated. That was a group stage game that was passable to lose. It changed their position in the groups by maybe 1. But didn't really have the potential to take them to the upper bracket the way I remember it.
610 minutes in. 610 minutes.
If this is a 610-minute game, Toby, then I'm pretty sure there's going to be some sort of rule that comes in place before we get a 10-hour game. Something's going to happen.
Maybe that's when we start seeing the new things that Cloud9 were coming up with, demolition runes and six action runes as opposed to the 4 bounties that remain.
I like my old suggestion of Roshan 5 and onward just start dropping tactical nuke.
Sorry, this is not Command and Conquer.
Ion Cannon Beacon.
Resolution's going to take out the tier 2 tower on bottom. That is the remaining outer tower of Cloud9. Cloud9 still have another 2 to remove, but of course both teams, what they would really like to do is go high ground, take out the tier 3 towers. It's the danger zone for both sides. You want to attack in, you want to push the tier 3 towers, but there's always a shrine sitting behind you until you've taken one of the tier 3 towers. This is your problem. Eternal Envy sending clones up to the top to keep that push going. AUI is actually up here too. It's almost like he's trying to play like his old Lina build. Jump in, lasso. Oh, they're pulling Resolution back so far, but do they have the control? Resolution time walks down. He's still not out of range of the tier 4 towers. He's still in range of the sentry ward as well. But has the distance. Now press the attack up. Remember, there's that Aegis the Immortal on Resolution. If they were going to kill him, they had to kill him under the tier 4s.
That's actually very big for Empire. They got a Dragon Form and a Lasso out of that. And they forced the entirety of Cloud9 back to base. They can wait out this Dragon Form and try to do some more damage with their Void. Actually, never mind. The Aegis is expiring in 30 seconds, so...
Do those range creeps attack the
How
tier
much
2
damage did
top?
they do? They almost got the tower. That's pretty good. Oh, the smoke came from Cloud9. I don't really like this timing. They should probably wait another 15 seconds.
Are they going to come out? They're going to weave up, so there's a lot of armor on them. But where's the detection? Team Empire Oh, there's the Observer Ward from Cloud9. Maybe that's what gave him the confidence, but they're looping around and they don't find anyone from Team Empire. So back to the push we go. Upside is, with all this money coming in, is a Scythe of Vice coming the way of Eternal Envy. That is a lot of chain disable to come in from Cloud9 when Empire push.
Arc Warden is one of the few heroes that still likes buying this item. Hex has fallen out of favor a lot, but when you have two of them, it's a pretty damn good item. The other noteworthy hero that likes to get it is Tinker, who hasn't seen much play in this tournament at all. Hasn't been picked at the main event yet at all, either. Maybe just like 1 or 2 games in the group stage only, I think. I don't even remember seeing a single game with it in, but I know it was picked. But a fairly rare pickup. Very entertaining hero to watch, though.
Nice Observer Ward down from Roger. I don't think this was actually scouted out unless AUI is just feeling a disturbance in the site on bottom lane. It's not happening yet.
C9 are being starved again. This XP and gold graph are, you know, they tell a story in a way of how this game has progressed. And especially, I like when I look at the graphs, you know, people look at the graphs. I like looking at the dots in the bottom. That's basically your counter for successful moves. It looks pretty green to me for the last 15 minutes, I'll be honest.
I agree.
Envy got 1 kill on Disruptor. That is the success story for the last 15 minutes of Cloud9's play in this game. When it comes to objectives. 0 kills, 0 towers, 0 Roche.
Everything else is just push, push, push.
And everything else is Empire making moves. Empire's moves are actually working. So they're gaining map control, and they're progressing on in their lineup a lot more. We're going to end up in this awkward position maybe for Cloud9 where this Dazzle is going to be a walking Shallow Grave and Weave, and that's it. He won't have anything else to contribute. No Glimmer Cape, no Force Staff, no Lincolns. We've seen Dazzles get very rich sometimes and start getting items because they can push with Shadow Wave. Pilot Eye is really poor, man. And you look over at Empire's side, they're showing off items like Aghanim's Scepter. The Night Stalker has a full Glimmer plus Solar Crest. He's fairly close to Doom in net worth in a 46-minute game, which is, you know, pretty extreme when you think about it. Doom has a very easy way of ramping up money.
All you gotta do, though, is remember the Eternal Envy factor. It's the power of the Arc Warden. We were expecting this hero a lot more just because he's so hard to deal with. That's not even the real one of Arc Warden, but there's more coming in. MSS takes to the skies, but FN has already managed to retreat back out again.
The Empire heroes are trying to sandwich them here, but never mind. They're sandwiching a jungle camp. That's also very nice. All right, Roger 1 next.
Now we start thinking more about the next Roshan. So 30 seconds until potentially he can spawn up. Team Empire as well as Cloud9. Observer Ward vision around this is negligible to actually nothing at all. All the Observer Wards Empire have put down is looking towards the bottom and the mid lane and the movement out from Cloud9. That's why that big box can be drawn out saying, hey, they're going to be in here because we saw him from the mid, we saw him from the bottom.
There's a lot of confidence from Rezo here. 2 things. First of all, this movement pattern. Secondly, he bought a butter.
He doesn't have
buyback, man.
He's chronoed him up. Eternal Envy's in trouble with Scythe of Vice. Does he get it off in time? Pilot Die will be there for the Shallow Grave. They'll throw down the storm, but it doesn't actually control up AUI. MSS instead on the Resolution, broken free by the press of the attack. Doombringer dueled up. Does he have enough damage? I don't believe so. In fact, the Doom is regenerating. 1 charges as well, but it's the damage done inside the base. Cloud9 having to buy back an Eternal Envy. MSS will pop to FN's Orchid. And Cloud9 are falling like flies inside their own base, and this allows Team Empire to push in. Eternal Envy will attempt the defense. Fada in close. Let that Dragon Knight do the work up against the Night Stalker, but they don't have the detection. They don't see anybody, but they have the Scythe of Vice. Resolution picked up for the moment. MSS trying to do the damage with a Firefly. Can't stay close enough. But they will hold their bottom racks, but Team Empire got what they wanted. They breached in, now they can take care of the shrines. Not to mention the economical disadvantage for Cloud9, having to buy back both the Arc Warden and the Bat Rider to defend that racks.
That was a 10k minute. They just made a 10k minute happen. They were 3k ahead, I think, before that play.
We can check in 1 minute and then we'll see if the graph goes vertical or not.
It's one of those really high risk, high reward plays from Rezo. So he buys his butterfly, he doesn't have buyback, he's Silver Edges in behind, has a pretty good read on where Cloud9's heroes are, and he finds the Arc Warden. If you want to find Arc at this stage of the game, you need to be a bit more creative with where you look. So he checked right outside the tier 3, found the kill, and set up his team for a really great fight. We're going to see it here. So he's really deep behind enemy lines right now, completely alone. But he's expecting Cloud9 are not going to be in position for this. There's no way they're going to think I'm going to go here.
And they really weren't. They tried to actually envelop from the south, and it then just became a massive clusterfuck. Some abilities not really triggering off. Legion was isolated as well, but Resolution was free to do whatever the hell he wanted. And not to mention that, FN
Yep, FN came in and cleaned up the Arc Warden kill. The Grave was very nice there from Pylai, but the mobility of Co-op allowed her to connect, get that kill. Now they got a second Roshan, so that's Aegis and Cheese. You know what, Toby, this game might actually not end up being that long. Now they have built some really significant advantages. 20k on the gold. Cloud9 are going to struggle to leave their base out of just fear. Getting caught by this void.
I still want to see what happens when Cloud9 get the fight that they're looking for, which they haven't got. Like, they weren't in position for that last fight because they were scrambling back. It was a fight which they were never expecting Empire to cut between where they were and their base. It just wasn't what they wanted. From a prepared position, if they build in the bunkers, you're meant to be better soldiers from prepared positions. Team Empire are just, well, they're hit and run.
I would have a lot more faith in Cloud9 if they had something to protect their Dazzle. The issue is that when the Queen of Pain has this Aegis of the Immortal, she can actually just blink the Dazzle, Bloodthorn him, and try to kill him. And Cloud9 have to respond by protecting their Dazzle, else they have no one to protect the rest of the lineup.
They've got to stop this melee rack from going down. They may not feel like they have enough. The clone was already sent north, trying to push out the wave.
Yeah, they're waiting for that. They're waiting for the...
There's a Lincoln's triggering off, but a fresh one already on him. Fada, well, misses the breeze fire, blink away from FN, and here we go for round 3. The Orchid, actually the Bloodthorn, onto the DK, who gets dueled up, and the Sonic Wave, combining with the Chrono Shallow Grave, will still keep Fada alive. Eternal Envy's clone will not be so lucky. The Lasso pulling Maposhka further up. They're trying to stop his control factors, and the Doom is actually on Faceless Void, combining up with a little bit more damage from that Infernal Blade. Maybe they can kill off Resolution. The Glimpse will pull him away. MSS has to do the work. The last man in the front line, the Aegis Immortal, will now allow FN to come back to life. He blinks, he's going closer towards the Dire base. Meanwhile, MSS is finally brought down, but it's all about the man who's currently squatting in the home of Cloud9. FN for 925 gold. Eternal Envy will claim his scalp.
What buybacks was that? That was only Dragon Knight?
It was only DK.
That's a pretty decent hold. They hold, the Aegis is gone. Did they expend the Cheese there as well? I think so. Cheese was also used?
Yep, it was on Ghost Stick and it was expended.
All right, so they used both. They do keep Resolution alive, which is very important. But I think what we saw in that fight was what I was talking about. If Dragon Knight doesn't have buyback there, the game probably ends. The Queen of Pain is just blinking to the backline, Bloodthorning the Dazzle, and then they chrono whoever they want and kill him. And the Dazzle is like in this hopeless position. He has nothing to fend for himself, and he can't stand so far back that the Queen can't blink him, because then he's not in range to Grave. It's one of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moments, and it's very, very difficult for him right now. Fortunately for them, they got rid of that attack for a while, so now they have like maybe 6 or 7 minutes before the next Roshan spawns. The question is, are they willing to contest that, or are they going to hope that they can hold with buybacks once again? Because I don't think they're going to hold without them. They're going to need buybacks every single fight that Empire push into them like this.
Well, right now they only have the Doom, even Dazzle short by 900 gold. AUI and Fada are on the front lines. Resolution running around, actually takes his boots out of his infantry so he can use that fresh BKB. He's got jumps in. Where's your control? He's got it in spades. Manda style out, time dilation. At least Envy's got the bubble available. So AUI, rather tanky. Resolution still looking for that DPS. You've got Dazzle, but the silence is perfect from Roger. He actually gets the silence up, so there's no Shallow Grave, and they'll actually get both of them down. MSS went for the drag, so at least there's something in return. Maposhka dies for the cause for the 2 hero kills. Both supports for Cloud9 pushing up the daisies. FN wants to join him. He's TPing out to his shrine. And Empire may just feel they have enough to go high ground and finally finish this bottom racks.
They only kill supports. I don't think they can go high ground here. The Arc Warden is still going to be too big of a problem. They expended Chrono, so maybe they're going to wait here. What did Ghostic take? He took the lower, pressed the attack cooldown. So now he has a 5-second purge for his allies. Extremely good against this double Hex of the Arc Warden. Can basically purge both hexes almost immediately. Save against the Bat Rider.
Resolution. The gem that's currently sitting on Roger. Roger stopped by Maposhka. Able to scout out the fact there was a sentry wall, but Resolution just BKBs, beats into the melee racks. There's no fortification available, but the bubbles from Envy may just do the job. Resolution still wants to finish it. MSS waiting for the right time to blink in and lasso, but he hasn't found a good target. So Team Empire, they'll jump out. Doom will arrive back to the world of living right now, and Empire will retreat.
That's what Arc Warden can do with the 2 bubbles. You can stand inside one of them and hit the barracks, and then you can put another one on the opposite side that blocks. And if you are standing within one and the other one covers, you need to stand in both bubbles at the same time to hit the buildings they're protecting, and he couldn't. It was not possible the way they were placed. So nice defensive play from Envy to stall out once more. But where is the progress with Cloud9, man? There's not much good happening in the world of C9. They haven't really moved outside the base.
It's the glory of Envy. That's all it really is.
Pretty dead, I think. Maybe not. It's gonna pike forward. Okay, Rezo can't be bothered. Actually, he wouldn't kill it in time. But it's like if they don't find a way to move outside the base and take a fight out there, the inevitable thing is that Empire gets another Roche, and they're not struggling to defend against Envy split push.
Yep.
Because they have so many heroes that are really farmed. The Queen of Pain, no problem. Gonna take care of it. This is a Legion commander with 4 or 5 items, no problem. Faceless Void, ultra farmed. Just gonna keep them contained, and they're playing against Night Stalker. It's so hard for them to get outside their base.
Ghostic is on the hunt once more. He's underneath the Dire Obs and Sentries. Maposhka, I think MSS was looking at, but with Resolution coming under, he's just out of range of the Sentry. There's a fake Eternal Envy. He'll Hurricane Pike himself down. Looking just to chip away and slow down the Night Stalker.
Getting the mid tower here with the Queen of Pain illusions.
Oh, and FN's taking the top tower. So you're taking the mid tower with the Quap illusions while he attacks into the top tier 3.
This is a good way of approaching sieging against Arc Warden. If you're far enough ahead so you can start splitting your resources out and hit 2 lanes at once, it's a lot harder for Arc. The tricky thing is that Arc Warden in most cases can actually kill the solo hero alone. Empire's heroes are pretty beefy, man. This Queen of Pain is a hard kill.
Is this the reason why they're going 2 Assault Cuirasses? Ghostic is buying one up right now, and FN already has one completely built.
I'm not sure. I don't think that's the line of thought behind it. Either it's a mistake, or they both just want to tank up, and Ghostic feels like it's still a better item for him than the Shiva, which arguably Queen of Pain could have also bought for them.
Yep. Normally it is the Queen of Pain who is able to buy that, but the timing that Empire wanted to push high ground, FN was the only one that could afford the Assault Cuirass.
I think they have some margin for error here with items anyway. It's like, you know, it's an efficiency thing. Sure, having 2 ACs is not ideal, but it's also not terrible. It's not like having 2 mechs where 1 mech doesn't work. It's just the aura that doesn't stack, but he still gets the 10 armor and 30 attack speed, so the item still has value. And if they're pushing 2 different lanes, it's very nice.
FN's damage output's also increasing. I'm interested to see if he gets rid of his Eagle Scepter for this. And in fact, that's exactly what he does do. So he's trying to complete up the full Mjolnir. And he's only 300 gold away from doing it. It would expend his buyback, but it would be his. But considering he didn't bring out the recipe, probably leans us to saying he's not. He'll hold his buyback. There's no reason to risk anything. You're 56 minutes into this best-of-1 elimination game at TI. You do not risk anything.
I don't think Empire can realistically lose this game in the next 15 to 20 minutes if they have buybacks. I think it's like almost out of the question that Cloud9 takes such a good fight that they can force all the buybacks and push and then beat them again in their own base.
Well, Cloud9 are going to try it. They smoke up the Observer Ward. I don't know if I actually saw it. There was a ping that came shortly after the smoke was triggered.
Hail Mary. He's got 3 wards on Pylite Eye, so they definitely have the possibility to set up a good perimeter to fight in.
Well, they weave.
They want to contest the Roche.
An illusion randomly appears, and that's exactly what they're looking for. But Roshan's not alive yet. He spawns in 33 seconds. Meanwhile, Legion Commander is taking the top tier 3 tower with illusions. They have to come back. And Eternal Envy's there.
So this move once again didn't work, and it is difficult. I think Cloud9 need to try to go for something like this. They were hoping Roshan was up so they could force a fight, but now that it wasn't spawned yet, they have to go back and defend this wave that's pushing, and Empire get to push right back at them and then look at the Roche again, and then they are fortunate enough to get it, as it looks.
Yep.
Spawning very, very soon. And they kill this extremely quickly. They have the Solar Crest, the Void is extremely farmed, the AC like we talked about. The only thing they're missing is really a Deso.
The Wraith just scattered out the fact that Roshan is there. So this is the upside for Cloud9. They have that information. Roger will clip one as well. So C9 know, if they don't get this Roshan, they're probably not holding racks. So there has to be something that they can do to contest this.
They have cooldown on Tempest for 20 seconds, and then when the Tempest is up, the Weave is out. So this is like a pretty awkward overlap on cooldowns that allows them to not fight at their full potential.
Oh, right now Resolution and Ghostic are doing Roshan, so Cloud9, I don't think they have that time.
Roger's getting some really good info here.
Tempest is there, but will it be enough? There is actually the kill. It goes the way of the Radiant side, and maybe with the control, Eternal Envy, BKB dueled up, the bubbles are down, and Lasso pulling back the Faceless Void, but the Sonic away from FN's going to arrive. Shallow Grave allowing Eternal Envy to stand his ground, but MSS will not be so lucky. Eternal Envy trying to Hurricane Pike himself away, but Mapochka, he had the damage, and it looks like Empire, they have the fight. Fada is the last man standing, and he is trapped at the front of the pit. Now time locked up, and he really wishes he could go back in time. Captain Hindsight, Cloud9 in a horrendous position. A double kill for Resolution. Double buybacks out from Cloud9, but this is scrambling defense to keep themselves in TI.
30,000 gold now. And they still have Aegis and Cheese. There's no buyback on the Legion. Oh, that's an Indian
It's just the
right?
Tempest.
That's a clone. Okay, I just looked away for a second. I was like,
he still needs to keep that clone alive. Without it, they don't hold this. The range Rax is gone. And Eternal Envy, so much work for him to do. Resolution. He's invis for the moment and now realizes not much more point to that. Has the Aegis Immortal, may as well try and kill off this Rax.
this bubble's going to end now, and then he doesn't have the Tempest, so that's Rax down.
Yep. We've defense up from Pylai Die, but you've claimed the entire mid-Rax. No damage done to the bottom, but without the Legion Commander control, it feels like Team Empire, again, safety first. They're going to retreat. There's a big wave on bottom that had to be dealt with. And FM with a Scream just took out 8 range creeps. But let's have a quick look at that Roche fight once more.
So what sets all this up for Empire is the fact that Night Stalker was invisible and scouted the entire team out at nighttime. 2 very good defensive bubbles make this fight look fairly close by enemy. Great press the attack is going to let Resolution disengage here, and actually rather just re-engage on MSS. And the moment this Chrono comes out, actually before that, the fight is just lost. It's extremely hard for Cloud9 to find a winning condition when the Night Stalker sees everything that's coming their way.
I'm really struggling to try and find a way where Cloud9 can survive. With no buyback on DK, Arc Warden, or the Doombringer, defending against Team Empire seems almost impossible. And that is where the magic, we're 60 minutes in, this is the EE zone, the Cloud9 have to enter. And if they don't enter it, then, well, Team Empire will take them out in the first round of TI.
I think we're in the Rezo zone.
We're in the Rezo zone? Hey, it's not even a Morphling. Look at his items. He's gone so much. He's leaving his BKB just sitting in his backpack. Same with the MKB.
He's 7 slotted with a double damage right now. He is 10-shotting Rax as Void right now. That is something.
They have to bubble to defend it. Here goes your defensive weave once more. Cloud9 trying to have the armor. You realize when you're doing defensive, not aggressive weaves, all they want to do is survive. BKB from Eternal Envy actually being burnt. Not certain that's exactly the item he was looking for, but the melee Rax is gone. They got what they wanted, and FN's bringing the momentum for the last lane to bring in Megas. In favor of Team Empire, Resolution doesn't care. Silver Edge is under the tower. MSS looking for the lasso, able to grab it. That Lincoln Spear won't break it free, but Ghostic will press the attack. And AUI, FN controls him with the Sonic Wave. AUI is actually going to pop from that. Meanwhile, up in the top fight, the Storm is nice. Fada not trapped inside the wall, but the Chronosphere is perfect. Cloud9 locked in time, space, and they may be removed right now. FN's doing the work. MSS won't make it home. And GG, Team Empire have taken out Cloud9 in round 1 of the lower bracket of TI7.
They read them very well. I think Empire pretty much beat them in most stages of the game. Cloud9 had a good, very early start when it came to pushing down a couple of towers, but afterwards the vision of the Night Stalker having good map control overall, good reads on what Cloud9 were doing. All of their smokes for a consistent, like, I think 40 minutes failed. Yeah, they simply did not find a fight that they could win in. And Empire kept setting up good kills, kept taking the better fights, and kept getting extremely farmed. Got the Roshans, got the towers. It's a pretty long game. It was beyond the hour.
Yep.
Classic Arc Warden game.
It definitely stretched out.
From the 25-minute mark on, it just really felt like an Empire game. You always know there's this comeback potential of the Arc Warden, but it's under the condition that either the Empire team brute force into them, get caught and lose heroes, or that Cloud9 find the correct opportunity, and it didn't really present itself to them.
They really, really tried, and again, like you can point out the problems with their offlane. MSS couldn't find it, but really, Cloud9, they tried the hardest out, but Team Empire are the ones who claim the victory and move forward into the next round of TI7.